All right, last up for tonight on easternpress.com, the Encyclopedia of Warfare from ancient Egypt to the war in Iraq. The most wide-ranging visual history of wars and warfare ever published documents every major war or significant conflict in over 5,000 years of human history, illustrated throughout. Let's open this up. This bad boy. This is the big one right here. There we go. See what we got. War. Look at that tank. Okay. It's pretty cool. War in the ancient world, war in the medieval world, early modern warfare, age of revolution, dawn of mechanized warfare, era of the world wars, conflicts after World War II. A foreword. Let's read this. It is well that war is so terrible. We would grow too fond of it, wrote the great Confederate General Robert E. Lee in 1862, thus neatly encapsulating the two conflicting emotions that war has always stirred in the human breast, repulsion and fascination. War has always been with us as a violent method of resolving disputes. The earliest communities fought each other for control of food and land, but war in its strictest definition is the state of armed conflict between nations or states, or between groups within the same state, otherwise known as civil war. The first recorded wars between organized armies were fought by the city-states of Sumer in the 3rd millennium BCE. Since then, states have habitually used war as a means of achieving their political ends when all peaceful options have been exhausted. War, according to the Prussian military theorist Clausewitz, is nothing but the continuation of politics by other means. Scarcely a generation passes in any nation without some exposure to war. Between 1500 BCE and 1860 CE, there were in the known world on average 13 years of war to every 1 year of peace. Virtually all frontiers between nations, races, and religions have been established by wars, and most previous civilizations and empires have expired because of them. The history of the world is primarily the history of war. The carnage of the 20th century, 2 world wars, and numerous instances of genocide and the advent of nuclear weapons have made conflict between major powers both undesirable and unthinkable. Yet for some combatants, war has always had its attraction. Comradeship, wrote a U.S. veteran of World War II, reaches its peak in battle. In truth, war brings out the best and worst of people. It mobilizes our resources of love, compassion, courage, and self-sacrifice, but also our capacity for hate, xenophobia, brutality, and revenge. One of the strengths of this impeccably researched, well-written, and beautifully illustrated volume is that it covers more than 5,000 years of warfare, from the Sumerians to the modern day, in such a multifaceted way. It shows how armies were organized and equipped, how battles, campaigns, and wars were won and lost, and how technology has gradually changed the face of battle from brutal hand-to-hand encounters with axes and swords to the use of impersonal computer-guided weaponry today. It also looks at war from the perspective of politicians, generals, ordinary soldiers, and civilians, and it charts the attempts, not always successful, to regulate war and make it less brutal. Is there such thing as a just war? Thomas Aquinas thought so, and those who fought for the Allies in World War II would surely agree. Wars are sometimes a necessary evil to topple dictators, curb aggression, and protect the weak. If a nation is unwilling to fight in what it believes is a just cause, it will not deter others from going to war. Saul David 2009. There's your little illustration with some knights going at it. And there's another picture. So yeah, let's skim through it real quick. From the back, it's easier for me to do this because of the way I'm holding the book. But that's what we got. A lot of neat little pictures in there, a little artwork. I mean, a lot of nice artwork, I can say, paintings, stuff like that. Hey, look at that. I got that helmet. All right, pretty big book. Tell me if you got this. Tell me if you've read it, if you like it, whatever. Pretty crazy book. Thanks for watching.